Hi, this is Dr. Al Kim again from Washington University School of Medicine, reporting for Room Now. The faculty head for the CAR T and T-cell engagement group here that's been very busy reporting on numerous abstracts at the ACR Convergence 2025 conference. I'm going to be presenting data actually from 4 different abstracts that have finally given us high-resolution molecular data to justify why deep depletion that CAR T-cells have been able to demonstrate to date may be the reason why we have the extraordinary durable clinical responses that we are in lupus patients treated with CD19 CAR T-cells. So as a little bit of a background about B cells and why they're dysfunctional in lupus, remember when B cells grow up in the bone marrow, they develop there, they come out as naive B cells. Now in uninfected people or people that don't have any recent vaccination, these B cells stay as naive B cells. If you're vaccinated or you get an infection, these B cells move to what's called the B cell follicle in lymph nodes, where then they initiate germinal center responses. Here, the B cells differentiate so that they are able to create high quality, high affinity antibodies, which can be then be protective once you get re-exposed to that particular pathogen. In lupus, this is completely hijacked. In the case of lupus, the B cells emerge out as naive B cells, but they are never brought into the lymph node B cell follicle. Instead, they are activated in what's called the extrafollicular pathway. And what this does is that it creates a unique population called double negative 2 B cells that are strongly associated with lupus pathogenicity. In fact, these B cells harbor almost all of the autoreactive B cell clones that you see in lupus patients. So as a result, the clones that in terms of if you wanted to graph out all of your B cell clones in a pie graph, these would occupy maybe 80 or 90% of them. And then when they eventually then grow up into antibody secreting cells such as plasmablasts, they are making most of the autoantibodies in lupus patients. So in these 4 separate abstracts, what we are seeing in the pre-CAR T state is the very low naive B cell counts, but very high double negative B cell and plasmablast populations, consistent with what we see in lupus patients that are flaring. Early on, within weeks after getting CAR T cells up to 6 months, we see numerous changes in the B cell compartments. First, there's a strong reemergence of naive B cells with a substantial reduction in plasmablasts and these double negative B cells. So that's great. On top of that, though, the B cell repertoires, in terms of the B cell receptor, they're not autoreactive. They tend to become very heterogenic and are equally represented amongst all the different B cells, again, suggesting almost a pre-disease state. Looking further out to 12 months, the Erlangen group here has shown that this remains durable. There is a population of these double negative B cells that do come back, but they're not the pathogenic ones. They're called DN1 cells. They're not DN2 cells. And also there's evidence that these B cells are activated through the germinal center and not through the extrafollicular pathway. So I think when we sum all of this complicated B cell biology up, basically what we're seeing is complete reconstitution of the B cell compartment after CAR T cell therapy, in this case all CD19. Some people have been calling this immune reset. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to define that specific term, but I think this is extraordinarily encouraging, something we've never really seen before in autoimmune diseases, and it's something that we're going to be looking at long term, years down the line for lupus patients, but also for other autoimmune diseases being treated by CD19 CAR T cells.